Welcome back to the review on the rest of the and an edition of AEW Collision Out 10. And once again, Rampage has moved to a different night. At this point, it feels weirder when the show ends up back on its usual Friday slot. But yeah, for a double taping, there's quite an interesting card lined up. And we started things off with a big match taking place in that card. Blackpool Combat Club against Top Flight. Castagnoli and Danielson representing them. The action was surprisingly even for a long time in Top Flight, possibly even having more time in control. They kept a quick pace and made sure all four men got plenty of time in the ring. Darius and Dante really came into their own as performers over the past 6 months. They looked more confident in the ring, having toned down high-flying stuff, just enough to make each move have a bit more impact while still making it their primary form of offense. While this was a great bell-to-bell performance, it was also predictable. Even though AEW can sometimes surprise us, nobody came into this expecting Top Flight to win. After a fun bout that produced some "this is awesome" chants, Danielson and Castagnoli scored the win. Danielson grabbed a mic and put over Dante and Darius for being what AEW is all about. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Big win this for BCC, but I think Top Flight also gained from having a lot of time and control in this match. So yeah, on the whole, I thought it was pretty decent. Before, Roderick Strong was on commentary for Will Ospreay against Lee Moriarty, Shane Taylor accompanied Toga Style to the ring, but Anthony Ogogo was absent this week. It started slowly with basic lock-up and exchange of wrist locks as they eased into it. The King was also at ringside with Roddy, so Ospreay had a lot of distractions to worry about. Taylor also took a couple of opportunities to interfere during the break too. Despite the shenanigans from everyone else, Ospreay and Moriarty put on a hell of a performance and had the crowd on its feet towards the end. The former IWGP champion hit a Stormbreaker for the win, but Taylor jumped him after it. The Powerhouse lost Ospreay to the rules after hitting a KO punch. So yeah, I thought this was really good. I thought Ospreay and Moriarty had a great match, and the stuff outside was strong there as well. I think really tied nicely into it, and yeah, can't wait for that match. It's double or nothing. 7 out of 10. Before, Brian Cage, Khan and Teo Lorena were in trios match against local talents, this is a quick squash. Tony Schiavone asked them why they turned on Swerve, and Cage said it was because Swerve was just using to get ahead while offering nothing in return. The World Champion showed them took on all three men to get some revenge. The match was entertaining and should set up a singles match in the future, and hopefully we do get to that. Before, Daniel Garcia took on the powerhouse known as KM. This was a competitive match than most AEW matches, but it was a simple win. Red Death picked up the win in a bout that was too short to be memorable than the 2 minutes it lasted. 2 squash matches in alone. Race time. Moving on to the original Dynamite Kid's nephew, which is interesting. Tommy Wellington taking on Dax Harwood. The newcomer gave up a lot of size and experience, but he made the match competitive by using his quickness and technical ability. It was a competitive change of pace from everything that came on in it from the show. It lacked the chaos the previous matches had, but in a good way. It was a clean competitive exchange between two technicians at different stages of their career. They did a good job maximising more of an old school style with modern offense. Bennington came into the unknown to most fans, so seeing him get so much time would be a good sign AEW's interest in him. Harwood got the win though, and FTR looked impressed and showed Billington some respect after the match. So yeah, this was really intriguing. Nice to see him getting the opportunity. I think he really did well for himself. So yeah, good stuff. Before it's time for Thunder Rosa, who was in action against one half of the Renegade Twins, Robin. Charlotte wasn't at ringside. It was nice to see Robin get a televised entrance for once, but it didn't make this match any less predictable. We all knew the Meta would get the win. Rosa was just in a feud for the world title, and Robin's barely been on AEW TV this year, so it kind of felt similar to the previous match. It was just designed to make the bigger star look good, and it did just that. The former women's champion came into a submission win with a modified Cobra Cut. She talked about the Triumphs and Crash before chasing Perazzo into the back, and obviously that's heating up that feud. But yeah, I think that's all we got from this. Basically just building the opponent up. We had quite a lot of that in Collision, but I don't think the main event was that, because it was Adam Copeland against Kyle O'Reilly for the TNT title. The crowd was definitely pumped for this one, on their feet before they even locked up, so expectations were high, and they took their time and worked out a very basic match at first. There were lots of standard holds, counters and takedowns, but they were doing it in a way that made it look like they were trying to one-up each other to see who the best technician was. They did a great job of increasing the pace and severity of their offense as the time went on to build the anticipation for the finish. They had almost 20 minutes, they had plenty of time to pace themselves and sell big spots. It wasn't an outstanding performance that served a reminder of both of these guys, incredibly talented wrestlers in their own unique ways. KOR is a technical mastermind, and Copeland's a showman of the highest degree who can hold his own on the match. They were meshed together well to put on the bang, and after a hard-fought match, Copeland retained his TNT title, helping KOR up and hugged him as the crowd gave him a standing ovation. Yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 for me. A really brilliant match between the two of them. Copeland retains, but I think Kyle O'Reilly definitely looked good in defeat here. And yeah, just on the whole, seeing two experienced containers still doing able to do this and put on a match of such quality. It was great stuff. 7 out of 10. then got Trent Beretta against Dalton Castle. Beretta came out to the veteran scene wearing one of the old shirts for his match against Castle, who were accompanied by the 4 men dressed as the boys. Castle has a slight power advantage and used it to take control earlier, running knee on the apron, put Beretta on the floor, but it also gave him some time to recover so he could get the upper hand. With Castle's infrequent appearances on AEW TV, it didn't seem likely he would be able to beat a guy in the midst of a heel turn, but it works hard to make this feel like an even fight. The one complaint is that Beretta didn't do enough in this bout to show his new heel personality. He barely skirted the rules and worked a relatively standard match. He was a bit more vicious than usual, but that was about it. Beretta won by referee stoppage when he choked Castle out, which I thought was a quite neat finish. So yeah, on the whole, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for Brian Keith against JD Drake. Keith was in action this week in a bout against JD Drake. The bounty hunter was the only one to get a televised entrance, so the outcome was clear from the jump. Keith didn't let Drake's size stop him from taking control at first, but the blue collar badass was able to get some offense in early. King Hollow modified Stunner to get a quick win. It was nice to see both of these guys get a little more screen time, but it just kind of felt like a random match that was in there, and yeah, we knew the result from very early on, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Deonna Purrazzo was then in action against Lady Prost. Purrazzo followed up her opponent from earlier in the show with a singles match against Frost. Once again, this match was predictable and the outcome was made better by now hard both women working together to make it feel more competitive. The crowd got behind Frost during the commercial break and began popping for every big move she hit. This went from feeling like it would be a throwaway to one of those physical matches of the night. The Virtuosa got the win, but had to run for her life when Rosa came down with a chair trying to attack her. So yeah, I think we all knew that the ending would kind of lead up to that, but I thought the match was decent up to that point. Big win for Purrazzo, and yeah, the interesting storyline between her and Rosa continues to grow, and yeah, like I said, I'm intrigued to see where that goes and how it could potentially tie in with Toni Storm too. So yeah, good stuff. Before it's time for Johnny TV, and Ty Valkyrie gave a promo early in the show to hype up the main event with Pac. Mr. TV got some heat by using a Vancouver hockey jersey in an inappropriate way, so Pac kicks him his face off to pop the crowd. Even though both of these men can be called high flyers, they usually use different styles, so they ended up being a bit of fun and parkour heavy offense with Pac's effortless feats of agility. Valkyrie played a little dirty by interfering, but it happened early enough to make not much of a difference. Pac got in her faith and gave Johnny a chance to take her down with a dive over the top rope. In fact, her trying to interject herself into the action backfired and led to her and Johnny colliding on the apron. Pac immediately locked in his signature submission to get the win. The Guns and Jay White taunted Pac from the big screen to win the show, so I thought this gets a 7 out of 10. It advanced that storyline. Pac gets a big ovation for the win, and yeah, it's nice to see Johnny TV featured because yeah, he is a really solid performer. But yeah, on the whole, I thought it was really solid and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Overall, Collision and Rampage gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, there's quite a lot of action on this show that just kind of felt like it was just there to put the one person over. Not enough competitive bouts. That's what it really felt like for me. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Probably not AEW's best 3-hour blocks. And yeah, just an announcement, with Rampage kind of moving back to normal time next week, I'm going to call time on Rampage out of 10 now, I think. The show's just become so relevant and not much happening. It's just not really worth reviewing. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with Dynamite and Collision going forward. If Rampage is maybe combined with the other shows again, I might bring it back. But yeah, when Rampage is a standalone Friday show, I'm probably just not going to bother anymore. Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.